Hi, welcome to Storytime. I'm reading Rachel. Do you want to know what today's story is? You do? Okay. Today's story is called Sarabella's Thinking Cap, and it's by Judy Schachner. And this is a very special story about a little girl who tends to get lost in her imagination. Would you like to read it with me? Okay. Sarabella had no time for small talk. In fact, she never talked much at all because she was too busy thinking. She thought about big things and small things and oodles of in-between things like aunts and uncles and doodles of poodles. What do you think, Pinky? Pinky's thoughts would remain a mystery, but there was nothing mysterious about her family. They loved puppets, painting pictures, and playing guitar. Most of all, they loved their Sarabella, just the way she was, with her feet on the ground and her head in the clouds. To Sarabella, there was nowhere she would rather be than dreaming of painted ponies racing across the sky. Some ideas came as a complete surprise to her, while other notions were coddled and cared for like rare plants in a well-loved garden. I need to read up on you, mister. There was never a doubt that Sarabella had a green thumb for thinking. The problem was, no one ever knew what she was thinking about. Her teacher, Mr. Fantozzi, had a knack for knowing just what Sarabella wasn't thinking about, and that was schoolwork. Sometimes all it took was a word, a sound, or the scent of Samantha's magic markers to carry her thoughts away. And that's when Mr. F., who was really very nice, had to send her home with another note, and this made Sarabella feel terrible. The notes never upset her parents, because once upon a time, they got sent home with notes too. Really? Said Sarabella. Really, replied her mom. You have daydreams in your DNA. At bedtime, Sarabella cuddled up to her big sister Cece. I wish I knew how to focus, said Sarabella. It's easy, said Cece. All you have to do is take deep breaths and squint. At school the next day, Sarabella followed her sister's advice, but all she got was a dizzy spell and a visit to the school nurse for an eye test. One night, during a math facts memorizing meltdown, a bear of a thought dropped by for a chat. I have a good head for numbers, he said. I can see that, replied Sarabella. Keep me in mind if you ever need help, said the bear. I'll consider it, said Sarabella. And that was her first mistake. The second was taking the bear to school the next day. I sure hope you left some room in your head for math facts, said her sister. There was always room in Sarabella's brain for one more tantalizing thought. Just not for math facts. By the time they arrived in class, the bear had fallen asleep, but waiting in the wings was an odd flock of birds who didn't know the difference between an egg and the number 8. That's when she heard Mr. F. calling out her nickname. Earth is cerebellum, he said. A penny for your thoughts. She's not thinking, said Russell. She's daydreaming. Daydreaming is an awesome kind of thinking, said Mr. F., but not during class. That afternoon, Sarabella stayed in at recess to catch up on her work. She liked sitting at the round table in the quiet room. I know you can do this, Sarabella, said Mr. F., handing her the very last quiz. Just put on your thinking cap and focus. Sarabella began to imagine what her thinking cap might look like, and then she turned back to her papers. Right before the bell rang, Mr. F. had Sarabella hand out the weekend assignment. They were always something fun. What do you think, Sarabella? Asked Mr. F. An otter popped into her mind, but that was just the first thing. A penny for your thoughts. Draw a picture of your favorite daydreams. Before she even got home, kissed Pinky, and put on her comfy bunny slippers, Sarabella had already thought of 1,000 extraordinary things. By dinner time, she'd run out of paper, had an upset tummy, and a great big mess on her hands. That night, just as Sarabella was about to give up, a whale of a thought appeared on the horizon. The closer it got, the more beautiful it became. And though it was the most enormous creature she had ever seen, Sarabella felt unafraid. "Do you know what I think?" asked the whale. "I can see what you think," replied Sarabella. "And so should everyone else," said the whale. "To share it, you've just got to wear it." Then the whale blew Sarabella a kiss before she swam off. This gave Sarabella an idea. She found a brown paper bag and a ruler for measuring. Then she rounded up some old magazines, pretty papers, pencils, pastels, stickers, and stamps, along with her favorite drawings. For the rest of the night, she clipped and colored, pasted and painted until her project was done. Monday morning, everyone was eager to share their weekend project. "A penny for your thoughts," said Mr. F., as the kids sat crisscross applesauce on the floor. "Who's going first?" To the surprise of all, it was Sarabella. "If you want to share it," she said, standing up in front of the class, "you've just got to wear it." And that's exactly what Sarabella did. When she placed the most spectacular collection of doodles and daydreams right on top of her head. "So that's what you've been thinking," said the class in awe. Lara saw unicorns, and Xavi saw planets. Dylan saw a cat, a snake, and a feather, while Nate reported seeing clouds with a touch of bad weather. "A penny for your thoughts, Mr. F.," said Sarabella. "I think," he said with a smile, "your thoughts are worth more than all the pennies in the world." On Tuesday, Bob came to school wearing a thinking cap of his own. Sarabella really liked it. "We've got a lot in common," said Bob. "My thoughts exactly," agreed Sarabella. What a special little girl Sarabella is. It's very wonderful that all of her family and friends and her teacher understood that she thinks just a little bit differently than others, and that's what makes her so special. Well, if you like this story, please be sure to follow along with Reading Rachel, where if you have a book, you have a friend, and I'm your friend too. Bye.